morning and welcome to another edition of Let It Be Known. And it is CBC week, and I'm your host, Stacy Brown.
And peace and love, everybody. I'm your co-pilot, Niele Anderson, and we have a lot of headlines to jump into today. We're going to crisscross across the country and bring you the headlines that are impacting the Black experience.
Yes, and we're going to give you an abbreviated show today, folks, just so you know, as CBC week kicks off. But let's first go to our producer's cut this morning. What she has for us in store?
Over here. You called the East primitive, but what? We created y'all knowledge. We created y'all science. We created y'all math. Y'all didn't do shit besides steal. Y'all didn't do anything to your. You guys didn't make shit. You guys touch children. You guys fuck.
Showing them the door.
We walking them to the door, y'all. I don't even know how they got on campus. We gonna figure that out, but I don't know. They need to get like a trespass, like penalty or something because
Sending them off.
Tell him it's that boy. He thought he was gonna come up like Charlie.
yes. Say good job, TSU.
Good job. Shout out to my.
Wow. So, yeah, we see there, MAGA tried to run up on Tennessee State, and that was the response that they got.
Yeah, and the details of that, according to a statement released on Tuesday, the incident occurred on September 23rd at around 3 p.m. When a group on campus wearing MAGA hats and carrying signs with messages such as "Deport all illegals now" and "DEI should be illegal." Now, the NAACP said the group attempted to lure students into conversations centered on these messages, framing them as debates. And so, the MAGA is MAGAing up and they're being more emboldened. And now coming on to our campuses, bringing that Charlie Kirk stuff.
MAGA is what? What you say? MAGAing it up.
Bagging it up, and this that what they were trying to do was similar to what Charlie Kirk was kicking off before his untimely death about having these, debatable conversations on campus. But the difference is he was invited to those campuses.
Right.
Nobody
He was
at
invited.
TSU invited him, invited MAGA.
100%. Let me segue because one of the things I wanted to mention this morning is what Orange G had highlighted, and something that we have to keep in mind. And we talk about this. I know Niele talks about this. Greer talks about this, of not allowing for the distractions or allowing for what Trump does to really distract us from news that we might miss. And one of the things that Orange G brought up was the shooting of 3 Black people, including 2 sisters in Illinois, I should say, Ohio, not Illinois. I'm sorry. On the weekend of August the 31st, officials say 26-year-old white man, Samuel Tyler Erickson, shot 22-year-old Eden Adugna and her 20-year-old sister, Fevin Adugna. They're from Ethiopia, and 27-year-old Ben Met Derice. And these 2 sisters worked at a local hospital who praised them on a regular basis. The authorities don't know what the connection is between the 3. They don't know the connection between the 2 sisters and the other victim and the 3 and the shooter, who also committed suicide. Family members say that the Adugna sisters, is how you pronounce it, Adugna sisters, were born in Ethiopia and had a happy childhood until they lost their mother at the hands of their father. The 2 were then raised by their grandmother and aunt and moved to the U.S. in 2018, quote, in search for a brighter future. They say we brought them across the Atlantic so that they could grow, thrive, and pursue their dream of becoming doctors and saving lives. And get this, the family said that Fevin and Eden, the names mean light and paradise. So the 2 sisters are now gone with a friend. and the shooter was sitting on the steps, and another man approached the shooter, not knowing what had happened. The shooter had a dog with him, and the shooter told him, the individual saw how downcast the shooter looked, allegedly, and told him that, you know, things are going to be all right. You have people. He said only for a couple more seconds, and when he walked away, the shooter killed himself. And I always say, Niele, kill yourself before you go killing others. If you're going to kill yourself, don't kill other people. Oh, you're on mute. That's why I can't hear you.
I said, was it racially motivated? I'm just trying to.
Well, authorities, again, they were quick to say that this was not racially motivated, wasn't a hate crime. How do they know? They continue. They say that, Niele, but they have not produced any other evidence to suggest anything else.
Was the shooter
They
a
don't know
white
the motive.
person? Was the
Right?
shooter
He's a white man.
okay?
Yeah, and for them to just immediately say that, it's like you talked about the sheriff the other day. You
Mm-hmm.
know, when they quick to say that, to me, it says it probably was.
Mm. Well, prayers out to their family for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Sad thing. And again, the hospital that they worked at, the two sisters, prior to their murders, and even since, of course, since, they have talked profusely about how great these two young sisters were. And so, like you said, the prayers go out to their families. Brooklyn, Illinois. I want to take you to the oldest Black town in America. And right now, that town, Brooklyn, Illinois, is struggling to survive. It was born in the 1830s out of defiance when free and formerly enslaved families crossed the Mississippi to build a refuge. Brooklyn now faces boarded up buildings, stalled projects because government funding dried up. And it's really because the government is more willing to fund billionaires and, of course, their want to destroy Black history and not let anyone know about it. But the people of Brooklyn say that they refuse to die quietly. Their mayor says, quote, "You can't erase our history." Archaeologists have dug to prove its worth, and neighbors continue to fight to keep its story alive. This isn't just about one small town. It's about whether America will fight for the first Black town it created or stand by while history is erased, Niele.
Mm. Mm. It's interesting.
Yeah, when you have these type of towns, a few months ago we did another all Black city story. We have to. This is again, this is like we talk about Black owned media needing to be preserved. We have people who might want to think about stepping up when it comes to Black owned media, but when it comes to Brooklyn, Illinois, the first Black town in America, you might want
Mm.
to look at that and step up. I know the baseball player, the former baseball player, Cleon Jones,
Mhm.
who won a World Series with the New York Mets in 1969. He is from this town in Alabama. It's not called Freedom Town. What is it called? Free something. It's an all Black town down in Alabama, and he has been working for decades to keep that alive, along with some others. And so we need more people like that, is what I'm saying, when it comes to Brooklyn, Illinois, and other Black cities and towns.
For sure.
Yeah. So, folks, keep that in mind. And Niele, what do you have for us this morning?
Oh, I mean, you totally went off the grid today.
I did. I did. I was.
Yeah.
I was ordered to go off the grid.
Uh,
I'm
well,
following orders.
we have some HBCU headlines this morning. A former Omega Psi Phi pledge is alleging he was severely beaten during Hell's Night, and that he had to relearn how to walk, and is now suing the fraternity, now the University of Southern Mississippi and multiple other people and organizations. Now the lawsuit alleges that the young man suffered severe emotional distress and could not walk for months. And he untimely dropped out of the University of Mississippi. So, Omega Psi Phi fraternity has declined to comment on the litigation. and the University of Southern Mississippi was not immediately available for comment. So here we have Omega Psi Phi once again in the headlines for hazing another Black man.
The hazing thing too, whether you are pledging or not, to me, I never pledged. I'm not in agreement with being hazed or hazing anyone else. That's all. I'll leave it like that.
Yeah, well, they're not supposed to be hazing anymore.
Hmm.
I just don't understand why they continue to have these types of practices. But I mean, fraternities have been around forever. It is part of just the culture of it. But I think the more these cases come out, the more they'll have to rethink their approach of what it means to be a member of the Divine Nine.
Yeah.
And moving on, billionaire philanthropist Mackenzie Scott has done it once again. She donated $70 million to the United Negro College Fund, and the gift is one of Scott's largest single donations ever, and among the first to be publicly disclosed for 2025. I mean, ever since she got divorced, she been just you get a million, you get a million, you get a million. And I love that she is blessing the HBCUs.
Yeah.
Now, according to the Associated Press, and it follows her $10 million donation to the organization in 2020. So now, within the decade, she's already up to 80 million. And so I think this is just another lesson to alumni. Like, let's keep this train going and funding and plugging our HBCUs, because we know under this Trump Clan administration, we really need it.
Yeah, and as Dr. Joni says, that this is so terrific on her part. We do have some allies, as you've said in the past, Niele, and this shows you. Show me better than you tell me. And Mackenzie Scott shows you $70 million, and people go, "Oh, she's got the money." That doesn't mean many of them got the money. They're not looking at anything Black though. Any Black institutions to assist, but Mackenzie
Right.
Scott has stepped up in a large way. I saw this as well, and I was very impressed with that. And in fact, I need to have a conversation with Miss Scott.
I hope you do. Make it happen,
Make
Stacy.
it happen.
And then let's do a little commerce. So, all you Prime members, talking to myself too, things are changing starting October 1st. Prime members will no longer be able to get shipments outside of their address. So that means no more free shipping with friends and family outside of your home. And they're kind of following the Netflix and Hulu subscription. Remember where, during COVID, we were sharing passwords. Okay, you have Hulu, then you can have my Apple TV. Okay, you have Disney. Okay, I'm going to give you my Netflix. So now with all of our Prime shipments and everything, there's no more sharing addresses. But I thought about, what if I'm out of town and I need a package shipped to me? Are you telling me that I can't get my package for free and I'm having it shipped to me? So I'm really interested to see how that'll play out, because sometimes I'm not home and I need something wherever I'm at.
Well, I find it very interesting that we're talking about Amazon and Jeff Bezos right after you talked about his ex-wife.
You see how I did that?
His ex-wife opening up her purse and to the tune of $70 million, and this guy, a multi-billionaire, want more money.
He wants more money. Well,
So
he has a very expensive wife now.
yeah, that 70 million that Mackenzie spent is probably what the new wife Lauren she wants for a week
Right.
allowance.
Right. For sure. For sure. So starting October 1st, folks, you can't share your Prime membership with your family members. And those are your headlines for this morning.
Wow. So folks, again, it is CBC week, and look, we may, because we certainly have issues, some issues too, but you may not all agree with the CBC, the Congressional Black Caucus. This is the foundation's event, number one. Let me just make that clear. But number two, it is something else that when we talk about preserving Black history, this is a historic organization, whether you agree with them or not. And it is black. It is foundational black. Shirley Chisholm. You can talk in a negative way and carry out negativity towards them all you want, but again, you're only doing the bidding of the guy at Pennsylvania Avenue, who's going to have a $200 million extension on the White House and spend your money the way he wants to. So at least you have, as Neil has pointed out many a times, some within that body, if not all, but it's certainly not all, but some still in the fight for you.
Yeah. There's going to be meetings today with Sidney Kamlager and a couple other members from Congress for an exclusive meeting with the Black Press. There's so many things that are happening, and of course, we'll keep you up to date as they happen. And an important note that Donald Trump said that he is not going to meet with Democrats. Mm-hmm. And that includes Hakeem Jeffries as well as Chuck Schumer as the deadline looms for funding the government. So that's happening. So I'm sure that'll be a big conversation this week at the CBC. And we'll have the opportunity to talk with those lawmakers about everything that we talk about on this show.
Yeah. And speaking of the CBC, a prominent former member of the CBC who has been accused of word salad. What about the word salad? You don't even call it word salad. What happened at the UN, the disgraceful performance at the UN yesterday. Unbelievable.
It was so funny. From the teleprompter, his teleprompter went out, then the elevator went out, and he blamed everybody. And then a report came out last night that one of a former writer for a former president was like, nobody has access to that teleprompter but the U.S. So if he's looking to blame anybody for the teleprompter, it's somebody from the U.S. esteem. And then as far as the elevator goes, that was hilarious.
This was literally on a world stage. It is. America has never. You gotta really dig through the bowels of history to find out when America has been so embarrassed. Unbelievable.
He called them, what did he call them? Hell countries to their faces.
It's unbelievable.
It was hilarious.
Yeah, but go ahead.
And it was embarrassing too.
Support that. Yeah,
it was embarrassing. It definitely was embarrassing.
Imagine a black woman would have stood up there and did
that.
Some Black history facts, folks.
Well, before we get into that, one more thing we got to talk about Jimmy Kimmel. Yeah. Jimmy Kimmel came back last night, and his monologue was magnificent. I mean, he gave us a little tear jerker. You know, he gave, shed a little tear. And he stood up for everything that people were looking and gasping to see, like, is he going to do? Is he really going to do it? And then what they say, is he really going to? And he did it. He went after Trump, Sinclair, Nexstar. He called them all out, was unapologetic and unafraid. So kudos to Jimmy Kimmel.
Yeah. And, I had no doubt that it was going to be quite the monologue. It was going to be on point, and it was going to be pretty much unapologetic. I mean, he said that he had no intentions on disparaging Charlie Kirk's funeral or death. It had nothing to do with that. And I think what he said, like you said, it was just on point.
I like how he turned it back on to Trump and MAGA when he brought up Erica Kirk and how she forgave, Charlie's killer. And that is the example that we all should be going by. You know what I'm saying? Throw it back in their face. They spew so much hate, but her forgiveness is the example that they should have in situations as well. You know what I'm saying? So everything that he said, he went, and then I love when he pulled out the note. Disney wants me to read y'all a letter. Y'all can go back and get your subscriptions. I mean, that was hilarious.
Yeah. How about that? What did you say? What y'all say? They lost like $4 billion or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, that was a win. I think last night, like we have the Target win and now we have the Jimmy win because that spoke to the FCC, the Trump administration, and to everybody. You're not just going to make this a dictatorship. It's not going to be easy because there are going to be some people to stand up and fight back.
Yeah, and Hollywood's also stood with him. It was like 400 Hollywood folks signed a letter
With the
protesting.
ACLU. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Hmm.
it's very good. So some Black history facts.
Sure.
On this date in 1935, Joe Louis, known as the Brown Bomber, became the first African American boxer to earn $1 million for a fight when he knocked out former heavyweight champion Max Baer in the fourth round at Yankee Stadium. Joe Louis's triumph cemented him as one of the greatest heavyweights in history and one of the first Black Americans to achieve national hero status. And beyond the ring, he became a symbol of resistance against Nazi ideology before World War II. He broke golf's color line in 1952. A lot of people don't know that and don't talk about it enough. And he left an enduring cultural legacy. He died in 1981 at the age of 66. And he's buried, folks, at Arlington National Cemetery
Hmm.
with full military honors. And, you know, Muhammad Ali used to, as
Look at
we
that
know,
body.
look at that. Muhammad Ali used to always, of course, we know he was the greatest. He always called himself the greatest. But when you talk to Muhammad Ali, you saw certain interviews, he always pointed to Joe Louis as the guy who inspired him more than anybody. And he pointed to Joe Louis as the greatest uh, outside of himself.
Mm, mm. Yes. And in more Black history news, today in 2016, the National Museum of African American History and Culture opened to the public. Now, the grand opening was followed by a 3-day festival and included a dedication ceremony with then President Barack Obama. And we know we have to continue to uplift this museum because we know what the Trump plan is trying to do to it.
Yeah, it's under great attack. It's under attack. Make no
Yeah.
mistake about it. And I just wonder, real quick on that too, Neil, because we've had stories this year, as you guys know, we've been talking about what's been in and out of that. I haven't been there recently. I haven't talked to anybody who's been there recently. What is now not there? That's what I'm wondering.
Yeah, I'm gonna go while I'm there. Let me check it out and see. But you know, and I mean, we have to also understand that a lot of times some things do get returned
Mhm.
outside of what is happening with Donald Trump. Some things do get returned, or some things have to be fixed, or things like that. But I'm definitely interested to see because they still leave the placeholders there.
Yeah.
Some when things are missing, so I'm interested to see what's there and what's not.
Yeah, and real quick, Dr. Joni and Stephanie Humphrey has a nice conversation. Dr. Joni says, I think it's excellent that we can stand up for free speech, and I believe that will definitely translate to similar actions and exhibitions of this power toward other important issues. And Stephanie Humphrey says, I would love for us to collectively shut down a few other entities so we can get the change we want and need.
Well, Target is one. Okay, we're still boycotting Target. We spoke up for Jimmy Kimmel. Let's see what's next because they're gonna throw more stuff at us. So
Mm. She actually showed a
hopefully we're
picture.
building our muscle, our flex, our resistance muscle.
She actually showed a picture of Trump at the National Museum of African American History, and you remember he had pretty solemn but glowing words to say about it some years ago, and now he
Mhm.
wants it dismantled. So there you have it. Um, our black-owned newspaper of the day is the Atlanta Inquirer. It was founded in August of 1960, and its motto is to, quote, seek out the truth and report it without fear or favor. And it became not only an educational tool, but a distinctive, viable route of communicating news of, by, and within the African American community. Today, the Atlanta Inquirer steadily moves forth to not only provide local, national, and international news to the benefit of its readers. The newspaper effectively promotes an agenda of inclusiveness equality, and social justice for all with timely and on target stories to uplift the Black family unit. So the Atlanta Inquirer, check them out online. And in Atlanta, of course, you got a choice of Black-owned newspapers, but include the Inquirer, folks. And I don't know if Niele went back on mute or not. So, uh, check out the Leadership Awards. There you go. Which is let's say Wednesday. Yeah, tomorrow night, 7 o'clock. It's going to be at the JW Marriott Hotel. 7 o'clock tomorrow night. A few awardees, and it's also a night in which you walk in, have some cocktails and a few hors d'oeuvres, and check out some music and have a good time. So check out the National Newspaper Publishers Association's Leadership Awards tomorrow night in Washington, D.C. at the JW Marriott.
Yeah, that's going to be fun. Can't wait to do that and a couple more socializing. But most importantly, I'm really interested in connecting with a lot of the community organizations, so that we can bring them on to let it be known, to let it be known family know what's happening across the country and who's really doing the work and who's really pushing these politicians to discuss and push the issues that are important to Black America. And with that being said, don't forget to check out Black Press USA for all of the headlines that are impacting Black America at BlackPressUSA.com.
We will see you tomorrow from the Congressional Black Caucus Foundation's annual legislative conference. See you then.